Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam. Devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudirayet. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata-sevayā. Bhagavati uttamashloke bhaktir bhavati naishtaki. Aradhyo bhagavan vrajeshatanaya stadhama vrindavanam. Ramya kachitupasana vrajavadho vargena va kalpita. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam pramanamamalam prema pumartho maham. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu matamidam tatradharana param. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear Vaishnavas, thank you for joining. We are reading Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 38, entitled Akrura's Arrival in Vrindavan Dham. And we have read till text 26 yesterday. We were discussing about the glories of Raj Raj, the dust of Vrindavan. When Akrura saw from his chariot the footprints of Lord Sri Krishna and Balaram, his hairs on his body stood on end, and he was trembling, he was in tears, and he was exclaiming, "Oh, these are the dust from my master's feet." He was so jubilant, so happy, so blessed to see Krishna Padaraja, the dust of Krishna's lotus feet. And then we discussed some examples also how devotees at Ramanreti also take dust of Krishna and roll in the dust of Vrindavan or Govardhan. So when you get a chance, feel free to roll in the dust of Govardhan, Vrindavan, etc. We'll move on to the next verse, text 27. Deham bhritam iyan artho hitva dambham bhiyam shucham sandeshadyo harilinga darshana shravanadibhi. Translation by the disciple and purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The very goal of life for all embodied beings is this ecstasy, which Akrura experienced when, upon receiving Kamsa's order, he put aside all pride, fear, and lamentation, and absorbed himself in seeing, hearing, and describing the things that reminded him of Lord Kṛṣṇa. The very goal of life for every living being is this ecstasy. And how did Akrura get that? By seeing, hearing, and describing the things that remind one of Krishna. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explained that Akrura gave up fear by openly showing his love and reverence for Krishna, even though he or his family might have been punished by angry Kamsa. Akrura gave up his pride in being an aristocratic member of society and worshipped the cowherd residents of the simple village of Vrindavan. He gave up lamenting for his house, wife, and family, which were in danger from King Kamsa, Giving up all these, he rolled in the dust of the lotus feet of God. So he put aside pride, fear, and lamentation. And Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur mentions more in detail. One is who is from aristocratic family. He was at a high position, had a high birth, but he gave up that pride. It's not easy. Then worship the cowherd residents, worship the dust of Vrindavan. His family lamenting, oh, what would happen, Kamsa, what will he do to my wife, my children, etc. He stopped lamenting of that. And he gave up fear by showing his love and reverence for Krishna. What if someone spread the news, oh, look, you sent a Krura to send him to bring Krishna back. Now he is offering obeisance at his lotus feet, right? Wasn't there fear for a Krura? What if any of these Kamsa's people tell that your person, your client, your secretary, whom you sent to bring Krishna here, that very person is going and falling at Krishna's feet? That's very fearsome situation for Akrura. But he Sarvdharman Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. He gave up all that. Fear, lamentation, pride. So in short, we should also give up. We should also put aside pride, fear, and lamentation. Pride of what? We may have pride about our education, about our money, degree, position, pride, oh, I'm initiated, pride, oh, I know Guru, pride, I can give better class, pride, I can cook better, pride of I am better Mridanga player. Pride can come in so many ways. But when we serve Krishna, we should put aside pride. We should put aside fear. Fear, what will happen to my visa? What will happen to my house? What will happen to my family? What will happen to this? So many types of fears are there in this Kali Yuga. And lamentation. Hi, I should have done that. Hi, why I didn't do that. Hi, I should have. So many, the mind is always in fear or lamentation, hankering and lamentation, bhog and tyag, asha, trishna. So give up all that, Krishna is saying. And absorbed in what? Seeing, hearing, and describing things that remind him of Krishna or that remind us of Krishna. Sandeshadyo Harir Linga Darshana Shravanadibhi. Darshana Shravana Adibhi. The things, seeing Krishna, describing Krishna, and hearing about Krishna. Darshan, Shravan, Adibhi. That is the very goal of human form of life. That is the real artha. Deham Bhritam Arthaha. Hitva. Give up. What? Damba Bhiyam Shucham. Shocham. So give up three things and accept three things here. To give up what? Damba, pride, bhaya, bhiya, fear, shucha, sorrow, or lamentation. And do what? Two, three things. Darshana, Shravana, and seeing, hearing, and describing. What? Harir Linga, things which are in connection to Krishna. Then our absorption will be like a Krura. Because we also have this fear, pride, lamentation. But when we absorbed our body, mind, and words in thinking about Krishna, seeing Krishna, hearing about Krishna, then automatically we'll be happy. Any thoughts, comments so far? Okay, Mataji, you want to read next verse, 28? So the following verses are kind of together. So I'm not sure if you're in a position to read. I'll continue. Dadrish Krishnam Ramam cha vraje godohanam gatau pita nilambara dharau sharada amburaha keshanau sharada amburaha ekshanau किशोरौ श्यामलौ श्वेतौ श्रीनिकेतौ बृहद्भुजौ सुमुखौ सुन्दरावरौ बलद्विरदविक्रमौ ध्वजवज्रान्कुशाम्भोजाश् चिह्नितैरङ्घ्रिभिर्व्रजम् शोभयन्तु महात्मानौ सनुक्रोशासमीक्षणौ उदारारुचिरौ क्रीडौ स्रग्विणौ वनमालिनौ पुण्यगन्धानुलिप्ताङ्गौ स्नातौ व्रजवाससौ प्रधानपुरुषवाद्यौ जगद्धेतु जगत्पति अवतीर्णौ जगदार्थे स्वांशेन बलकेशवौ दिशो विद्मिरराजन् कुर्वाणौ प्रभया स्वया यथा मार्कटशैलौ रोप्यश्च कङ्काचितौ. Translation by the purports of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Akrura then saw Kṛṣṇa and Balaram in the village of Vraja, going to milk the cows. Kṛṣṇa wore yellow garments, Balaram blue, and their eyes resembled autumn lotuses. One of those two mighty armed youths, the shelters of the goddess of fortune, had a dark blue complexion, and the other was white, with their fine features, with their fine featured faces. They were the most beautiful of all persons. As they walked with the gait of young elephants, glancing about with compassionate smiles, those two exalted personalities beautified the cow pasture with the impressions of their feet, which bore the marks of the flag, lightning bolt, elephant goat, and lotus. The two lords, whose pastimes are most magnanimous and attractive, were ornamented with jeweled necklaces and flower garlands, anointed with auspicious fragrant substances. Freshly bathed and dressed in spotless raiment, they were the primeval supreme personalities, the masters and original cause of the universes, who had, for the welfare of the earth, now descended in their distinct forms of Keshava and Balaram. O King Parikshit, they resembled two gold-bedecked mountains, one of emerald and the other of silver, as with their effulgence they dispel the sky's darkness in all directions. Hare Krishna. So these couple of verses, 28 to 33, they are combined together here, which we just read. Basically, they are glorifying, these verses are glorifying as Akrura saw Krishna and Balaram. Their complexion, their dress, their posture, their dresses, their eyes. So a lot of analogies are given. Their dress, Lord Krishna wears yellow garments, and Lord Balaram wears blue garments, Pitambar and Nilambar. Their eyes are like autumn lotuses. Their complexion, Krishna has a dark blue complexion. Jaladhara Shashivarnao Gopavesho Kishoro. Jaladhara Shashivarnao. So one has a monsoon-like dark autumn blue complexion, and one has the white Shashivarna. Faces are fine featured and beautiful. Walking is like an elephant gait, and their feet is marked with different imprints like the elephant goat, lotus, etc., flag, lightning bolt, etc. And their pastimes are most magnanimous and attractive. So, in short, these four verses here, or five verses, I think, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, the six verses in short, they're all describing the beautiful aspects of Krishna and Balaram and their beauty, their form, their pastimes, their features, etc. And Akrura is seeing all this directly as he has reached Vrindavan. Mhm. And he is seeing first the lotus feet or the dust, and then finally now he is seeing the two personalities. Mhm. It was the evening time, and Krishna and Balram were engaged in milking the cows. Mhm. Any comments here? So now this brings us to the last section of the chapter, the last text 34 to 43. They tell us what happened when Krishna and Balram, how they welcomed Akrura. Yes, Mataji, you want to read? You're unmuted. I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Mataji? Hey, Krishna. Okay, text 34. रथातूर्णम् अवाप्लुत्य अक्रूरस्नेह विह्वलः पपात चरणौ पान्ते दण्डवद् राम कृष्णयो. Akrura, overwhelmed with affection, quickly jumped down from his chariot and fell at the feet of Krishna and Balaram like a rod. Dandavat pranam, dandavat, flat like a rod. Dande ke saman gir gaye. Ram Krishna Yoho Charana Upante. Next to their feet, he fell papata. He fell like a rod. That's what basically Dandavat Pranam. Giving up pride, giving up everything else, he offered his respectful obeisance. That's what he was meditating before also. Sometimes we may meditate upon, like sometimes we meet devotees and we say Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Like when you're on phone or message, that's fine to verbalize it. But when we actually meet devotees, actually meet the Supreme Lord, then we should literally offer pranams. It's not that we are meeting some respectable devotee and saying Hare Krishna, Dhanvat Pranam. I've seen that at many places, and it's not very good practice. You should offer physical pranams and speak the Vanchakalpa Taru Vyasya mantra. Bhagavad Darshana Alada Bashpa Paryakulekshana Pula Kinchidanganga Otkantyat Swakhyani Nasakanripa. The joy of seeing the Supreme Lord flooded Akrura's eyes with tears and decorated his limbs with eruptions of ecstasy. He felt such eagerness that he could not speak to present himself. He felt such eagerness that he could not speak to present himself. So, bhav vibhor ho gaya Akrura. Tears are pouring because he is so, like, if you give a mundane example, let's say someone is a fan of a big cricket star, football star, and the moment they see their worshipable star, they'll be so happy. They'll have no words. They'll be in so-called ecstasy. So-called ecstasy. It's not pure. But this should happen to a devotee when they see the Supreme Lord. And that's what happened to Akrura. Because ultimately, Krishna is their superstar. Krishna is their life and soul. So he was in great ecstasy, and then his voice was kind of choked up. He could not speak or present himself. Just pouring and pouring. The Ashrudhara is pouring. Mhm. He was speechless, could not introduce himself. This is a sign of ecstasy. Any other thoughts, comments, questions? Okay, I guess we'll then keep it short. We read quite a few verses, so maybe in one more sitting, we'll try to complete this remainder of the chapter. And text 36. ग्रंथराज भागवतम पुराण की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, समवेत गौर भक्तवृंद की जय. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.